Alrighty, we just cleaned up a bit. Today let's get the rack out. Should be connected to nothing. Already loosened the nut, took the cotter pin out of the steering part, can't remember the name of it, tie rod. And I think we gotta spin those off. I already counted the threads, but we gotta spin those off and then just 4 bolts and it's out. But what do I feel like it's not gonna be that easy. So yeah, let's get at her. Yeah, obviously the inners need to come off, the inner tie rods. Can't even get the drive shaft part that goes up. This is just a rubber boot that was in there. That'll be fun to get back in. And I still can't get it low enough to clear that, even though it's not hitting the exhaust, but it pretty much is. But it's the inner tie rods on both ends hitting on the subframe, which doesn't come out or apart. Ended up pushing the whole column that way, inside that is, pushed a bunch of fluid out. And then it'll be able to drop, but I think the exhaust is in the way anyway. So I think we gotta drop the exhaust to get this out. Pretty sure we do. I got fluid in my mouth. I got fluid in my glove. So the issue with getting it out, I didn't realize how far you could push this arm in. But had to go really, really, really far for that to work. Oh man. That was a lot of work, and look how ugly, grimy this thing is. I'd take a tub of brake clean, but I'm glad I got it out. Whew. How old is this? 30-something years old, 32 years old. Now you can find remanufactured ones online for, I think, $300, something like this, but the reman Honda ones are like $700 or $800, so we might as well use this one. I think it needs a bit of cleaning first. Please don't break. Please don't break. We're gonna go extra careful here. We're gonna leave it a tiny bit loose so we get some fluid down inside. Oh. Nope. 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 Need more fluid. Back to this guy. Right. What a crud on this thing. Nope. Are we doing something here? Oh yeah. This would be a 32-year-old. Yeah. Bolt. Never come out. Yay. But at 10 millimeters now, 3/8. Back to this guy. Catch. Just need a bit more power. Oh, please don't be broken. Let's go. I don't have anything that fits this. Like, that's even the largest, even this won't fit it. Oh, maybe I got a giant socket that will fit it. Socket. Oh, that's close. But no cigar. I think that's the largest I got. Oh, that's really close too. 36. Yep. According to the instructions, I need to loosen this or this. They're both coming out. And I don't have anything big enough for this. $40mm. Yep, that's why all I got's a 36. Anyway, 40. Huh. I don't even have vice grips or anything that will clamp onto that. I will have to put some thought. Oh wait, I have the vice. The vice will clamp onto this. Let's see if we can do this. Is this gonna work? I think maybe. Gosh, I'm gonna have to get like the very edge of this, which seems impossible to do. Unless you're me. Now, what way is lefty righty? Lefty loosey. Oh, that's tighty. This is, yeah, towards me. I might have to set you guys down. Oh my god, that worked. That actually worked. Oh my god. Okay. That was easy. This is getting kinda heavy. What's that? That was pretty comical. Oh, that actually worked. Wow. I don't really understand how this comes apart. I'm guessing I want to take this off before this comes off. I think that's what it's trying to say. I don't know, is this thing going to spring out at me? How does this work exactly? Where is that bolt on this bolt? This thing, the spring is attached. A little worried here. What is this bolt for? Oh. Ah. The bolt is nothing. It's so you can take this off. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Alright, crisis averted. Spring. Some kind of plunger thing that wants to slide out. It was really hard to get to. Found it sweeping. It's so small, and it's got no ring on it. Where'd it come from? I have no clue what it's for. Alright, I mean there's some valves here, one that has holes and one doesn't, but and that came out of this valve body inside here, but just looking at this and what people are trying to accomplish online by taking up any play, it's very, very interesting mechanism. It's we can move the steering and pretend to steer, and you can see that metal thing there doesn't move, but that's not how steering is. We initiate it from the steering wheel side, and when we do this on the steering wheel side, we have this play. But this play is supposed to be like this, right? Because this thing moving back and forth initiates the valve in this guy. And you can see it in that little hole, maybe, assuming I can get it to do something here with one hand. Let's see, can I sit you down without you tipping over like you always want to do? So that activates a bunch of different valves and passages which push fluid through one of these holes to or from, and that gives you fluid on one side of the rack or the other to help push things around, move it from side to side. I'm not sure exactly how it works in here, but we don't need to know because now there's no fluid. There's nothing coming out. There's nothing. You know, the plunger is about here, I think, and I'm not sure how this works, but it obviously puts fluid on one side of the plunger compared to the other and assists in pushing this back and forth. But if there's no fluid, and there's no fluid in here, well, no, that's mechanical. It only gets fluid inside here, so it's mechanical. Move this piece, which opens orifices inside there to allow fluid, power steering fluid, to flow through and assist one way or the other. So basically, we don't even need this anymore. We technically don't need this, but technically we just need to block this all off. But what other guys are doing, of course, is to stop this from moving. That's your play. That's a little bit of play there. So you want to stop that from moving. That's that thing there. So they're adding washers inside this thing or on this thing to stop it from going back and forth, which stops this from going back and forth. Now, I don't know how they're getting this thing out yet, but this is what they're doing. So we've got to think of a way to either stop this from moving or stop this thing from moving. That's where we're at now. Also, I'm not sure how to get this out. It might be a compressed air thing. We'll see. Tried a couple things. It seems to hit a metal on metal. Dead stop. I'm not sure why. Oh, you guys will sit there? Yeah, forcing it doesn't do anything. Obviously this can't move. Yeah, just gotta figure out how to get it out. Stop it from moving once everything's clamped down. And then we just need grease, and I think we're good to go. So yeah, how do you get this guy out? And also, yeah, to measure this play, how you would do that. Okay, let's see what we can do. So, from before, what we learned was this thing moves up and down to control power steering fluid. Sorry, this thing. And it goes into this little orifice right here, but we want to stop it from. Okay, so this thing sticks out and moves up and down. We know this. But there it is. There's up. There's down. So we just need to stop that from moving. So we're going to do the washer trick, which is basically, we're taking some washers to fill the gap inside there, because that has enough space to allow things to that thing to move up in there when it's coming back towards us, we'll say. And yeah, I still say somebody's been in here before. These scratch marks are crazy. I don't know what angle you guys are going to be able to see them. Right there, I guess. Look at these marks. Someone's been in here before. Quite interesting. Anyway, just need to stop that from moving. So we're going to do the washer trick. Now the real question is, and I don't have the measuring equipment for this, which is really bothering me. How deep does this go? And how much does this stick up? And how much space is left between this sticking up and how deep this is? And can we measure it? Now, the answer is no. I mean, I got a measuring tape. I don't have any small measuring devices that will go in here. I have a micrometer, is that what it's called? But that's not going to work. This isn't going to help me at all. At all. I need a different tool for this. So, I mean, like, yeah, we could be lazy. We could say, you know, mark this off with a marker or a pen or some kind of mark, and compare that to this, and yeah, that's really accurate. So, not quite sure. Obviously, we'll say this sticks up a 1/16, it looks like, and that's more than a 1/16. Almost looks like we need 2/16 of washers. But I need to figure out a way to properly measure this somehow, some way. I don't know. Let me see what I can do. So 5/16. There's no way you're going to be able to see this. See the line I cut? So, let's say 5/16. And the thing that sticks up, I don't know, can we measure it with this? 1/16. Use the other side. Hmm, 2/16. 5/16 minus 2/16. 3/16. This is exactly 3/16. So let's give it a shot. Pretty easy to do. Plunk. Put that one in first because there's kind of a thing down there, and that goes right around it, which is nice. I wish I had a bunch of those actually, but that works too. And it's going up against this, which obviously will kind of match up like this, which is enough coverage there. And that's all she wrote. So, should I even put these back in? I guess, sure, why not? And that metal pin goes in there. And we were going to get rid of this rust too, so let's get rid of the rust. We're going to leave these things in there to stop dirt from going in. I'll fill the rest of the holes. So it was 3/16 needed of washers in here to have zero play in the shaft. So we're just going to clean this up, and we'll have to grease everything, put it back together, and Bob's your uncle. We got to put this seal back in too. Figure out, I guess this part's needed. I could make some kind of silly end cap for this. The guys are saying just cap it. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Still need this thing to stop this thing from moving. Yeah. Okay, before this rack goes back in, one thing we got to do. I don't want to do it. We have to cut a hole, drill a hole in this. So, from what I read, and I might do some more reading, but another gentleman I know who did this suggested this, and I agree with him, is there's no fluid in here anymore, so you got to relieve the pressure. You could leave holes open on this guy, but then you're sucking in water, right? Moisture and stuff will get brought in down into here, down into there, just be a mess. So close off the system still, drill some holes in here, let the air move back and forth, no problem, right? Air's not going to be moving anywhere, right? With this in, or intact, you are moving air. It's an air pump, right? I've seen other forums where they said they remove the rubber piece here, and others where they just zip this off, I guess. I don't like the idea of removing this. It seems to provide some support inside. That's what I was thinking as well. Obviously it would. It needs to be a seal between the two parts. So I want to keep that. I might try and drill through this. I don't think I can though because of the angle. I'm really not sure what to do here. This is where I got to do a little research, I think. Do some reading. It's hard to Google this. This is where I wish Google, was actually helpful and not trying to sell you crap. But you should easily be able to search for a forum or somewhere where they talk about drilling through this or eliminating this. And yeah, we'll see. the C-clip or snap ring. So yeah, what I think happened, we can show the video, but one snap ring when it came off went flying. And I think I grabbed this snap ring thinking it was it. It wasn't. We found the other snap ring eventually over here in this little junk container plastic thing I have. I had to watch the video a million times to realize that it literally went flying in the corner. And either I turned and this was sitting here or wherever, and I grabbed it and said, yeah, this is it, put it down, then got confused as to why the snap rings didn't work. But now I don't know where this snap ring came from, and I think I need to figure that out before I continue and put this back in the car. I'm 99.7.2% positive didn't come from this. There's a snap ring on the back side for this shaft and the front side, one for the bearing. There's just no other place for a snap ring to go on this thing, but I need to solve the mystery. So we'll go look at some video, see what we can figure out here. Yeah. Alright, so the consensus is that's a lower ball joint snap ring. So what I think is going on is that that snap ring flew off somewhere over here. Can't quite remember. We know it actually went into this thing, but the more I think about it, might have been just a mix-up of snap rings. But kind of curious where the other lower ball joint snap ring is, if that's the one. But anyway, guess we could show you it actually working. The other question is, do we want to block off the ports for the lines? How do we do that? Let's do a little research on that. I guess I could still put it in the car, because you can always just plug those caps later, put some stuff in there. I don't know what will, you know, besides what old caliper covers, or we simply find something on the internet, or we make something. we'll have to see. Alright, let's see if we can get this in a better go or a better take. We've tried a couple, but what did we do? We got the rack in. It's now a manual rack, but we got to just finish up the tie rod ends. You know how those go together. Put it back where it was. Easy to do. We got to clean up the steering cover that's got 30 plus years of grime on it. But before we put that up, we got to find the fittings or cap the holes where the fittings used to go for the lines. I don't know if those things exist or not. I got to really look into that. We got the exhaust pack on and looks like everything's kind of good to go here for this, which is amazing, awesome. Oh, can't wait till this works. Next up is going to be the electrical. So we need to figure out, well, one, we need to kind of clean up all the wires around that steering column. We need to put the wires that were there back. We need to connect the ones that were connected back to being connected. We need to clean it all up in there, extend wires if we need to, buy colored wire if I need to. Obviously, we're not talking about cutting OEM stuff. Two, we got to wire in the electrical for the motor, which we know is the positive and the ground wire. Besides that, it's three other wires, which are the pink, the orange, and the blue, I believe they were. Now, the pink needs a 12-volt key on, is what I'm learning, and the rest are just CAN bus data. You don't need to use them. You can tie them together or snip them. It doesn't matter. There's no CAN bus anyway. So key on power for the pink one is what I'm hearing. And we'll grab that from somewhere in the cabin, of course. I don't know where yet. We got to look into that a little bit. Besides that, it's the positive and the ground for the motor, those 8-gauge wires. Where are they going to go? I've been thinking about this a lot. You could put them really close, right? Like to the fuse box over on the passenger side and put the ground right on the brake switch or right in the body here somewhere, but I don't like that idea at all. We need a 60 amp breaker, I believe it was, for it, which we bought. So we can't really use the fuse box, alternator, power, 80 amp idea, and I don't like it anyway. So we're going to run a dedicated power and ground all the way over to the passenger side, all the way through the fender, where the wire tucked is, and coming out there and connecting to a distribution block in the corner. I'll save the details for the video, how we're going to do it, where we're going to do it. I still kind of wish I had a inline distribution or a circuit breaker box versus the one I got now, which is those boat ones. Someone did use like an ABS. I think it was an ABS one from a 93, those rectangle long ones. I like that idea. Same with their weatherproof and all that stuff, but we're going to have to put a circuit breaker over here just in case there's any damage to the cord when putting stuff in there, or it gets crimped and starts shorting out. Got to have that protection. Whether or not I got to change the 180 amp circuit breaker all the way by the trunk that feeds this distribution block up here, questionable. The other reason is coming up here is there's a ground up here in the engine bay, but not just a ground, but a ground wire that leads all the way back to the battery in the trunk. So we'll utilize that as well to get a better ground for the motor. And then, well, testing, I got to turn the car on to test it. I'm guessing no. You just turn the wheel and you'll hear the motor do its thing. That's what I'm kind of thinking, which would be interesting, very interesting. This is going to get super exciting. And off to electrical. All right, thanks guys. Cheers.